Hello everyone and welcome back to my journey to gathering every Trackmania Track of the Day author medal. Starting us out in volume 21 today, and for my 490th author medal, we have the track Shaky Sands, which was made by Evo XLRB, and this was the track of the day on September 30th of 2022. Shaky Sands is a mixed track that only about 600 players have the author medal on, and this is going to be the toughest one from today's video, and even tougher than it would first appear here. It also took me quite a while to get, taking 62 minutes, finally finishing with a time of 48.672 seconds. So this one was quite challenging to get, and you can see right there the author medal just passed us pretty easily on that waterbound section, and that is due to this track coming out one day before the water and ice update that released on October 1st of 2022. So that section is much slower, so you need to make up a lot of time elsewhere on this track, but nonetheless I found it to be a fairly enjoyable track and gave it a ++. Next up, for my 491st author medal, we have a fairly recent track and one of many fairly recent tracks coming up. This is Citronelle by Numberplay, and it was the track of the day on August 12th of 2024. Citronelle is a speed tech track that over 1,700 players have the author medal on, so it's going to be far easier than the previous track, though I was a little disappointed that this one still took me 15 minutes to get, finishing with a time of 47.938 seconds. In all honesty, I just really did not enjoy this track. I just did not think it had much flow at all. I found a large majority of the drifts and turns to be fairly awkward and weirdly timed, and I just could not get the hang of this track. So this is going to be a rare instance where I give a track a worse rating than the community. My 492nd author medal came on the track Floating Castle, which was made by Banano, and this was the track of the day on July 30th of 2024. Floating Castle is a plastic track that about 1,000 players have the author medal on, so kind of right in the middle of the difficulty scale there. It still took me a decent amount of time to get this one, taking 28 minutes, finishing with a 43.905. Overall, I thought this was a decent track, but feel it could have been a little bit better. I just found some locations to have pretty harsh gearing, whether it be getting a gear down or getting bad gear ups. I also didn't really care for the finish on this one, because sometimes it felt like I was getting super early entrances to the finish and sometimes super late, costing me time for things that felt a bit out of my control. Next up, for my 493rd author medal, we have the track Plastikaner, which was made by Next, and this was the track of the day on August 11th of 2024. Plastikaner is another plastic track, and about 700 players have this one, so it's going to be a little bit more on the challenging side here, though I got this one rather quickly, taking just 13 minutes, finishing with my time of 41.544 seconds. This track was quite a mixed bag for me. There were sections that were fine, there were other sections that were not great, including a middle section that was a little bit bumpy. Then we had the tunnel section, which I didn't care for, and I also did not like this ending part here on the sausage. So yeah, it was kind of just all over the place. My 494th author medal came on the track Camping Trip, which was made by Boyd, and this was the track of the day on July 25th of 2024. Camping Trip is a dirt and tech track that about 900 players have the author medal on. It took me just 10 minutes to get this one, finishing with a time of 44.648 seconds. For the most part, I did enjoy this track, but there were two sections on this one that really hurt the rating for me. The first of which was an outside dirt line into a jump. I just found that part to be very, very awkward. And then we also had the risky finish on this one, which I feel was very poorly executed. It's just a super awkward, kind of blind jump into an extremely small hole. Just not very well done, in my opinion. My 495th author medal came on the track Rhoze, which was made by Kolaski, and this was the track of the day on the following day on July 26th of 2024. Rhoze is a mixed track that about 700 players have the author medal on. This one took me a little while to get, taking 18 minutes, finishing with my time of 44.562 seconds. I thought Rhoze was an excellent track and it is my favorite one from today's video, but it is not without its flaws, or at least flaw, and that is the final drift on the track. It is extremely easy to gear up or even gear down during that drift, completely throwing off your timing and losing you speed right before the finish line, so that part could have been a little bit better executed, but overall this was an excellent track. My 496th author medal came on the track LOL AquaBunny, which was made by Rakakax, and this was the track of the day on July 1st of 2023. Like the name says, this is an LOL track that about 1,700 players have the author medal on, so a quite easy one here. Took me just 7 minutes to get, finishing with a 26.015. Not really a whole lot to talk about here, kind of what you see is what you get. There is a little bit of RNG, but it's an LOL track, so you know, it's perfectly fine. Next up, for my 497th author medal, we have the track Whiteout, which was made by HTIMH, and this was the track of the day on June 29th of 2021. Whiteout is an ice track that about 1,200 players have the author medal on, though I do believe this is going to play slightly easier than that would suggest. It took me just 8 minutes to get this one, finishing with a time of 45.825 seconds. For the most part, I think wider ice tracks are better for the least proficient ice players, but I think this one maybe took it a little bit too far, losing kind of a sense of direction on this one while you're going through the ice slides. As for the wall ride parts on this one, I really didn't understand how to take them all that well, and my lines in general were kind of just all over the place on this one. So yeah, my rating for this one is a neutral, really didn't get a good feeling for it. My 498th author medal came on the track Penguin Slide, which was made by Nolifus, and this was the track of the day on October 15th of 2022. Penguin Slide is our third plastic track of today's video, and about 600 players have the author medal on this one, though it did not take me all that long to get, taking just 21 minutes, finishing with my time of 48.602 seconds. As for the route on this one, I thought it was excellent and very well done, really don't have any complaints there. In fact, you know, I wish wet plastic, like the second half of this track was used a little bit more often, but my only actual minor complaint about this track is actually for the safe finish, and on one of my attempts, I was actually able to bounce over it. You know, maybe this was just a fluke because I was unable to repeat this on any of my other attempts, but something that maybe could have been changed, but overall, this is a very good track. My 499th and final author medal for today's video came on the track SOS Laid Back, which was made by Neutron, and this was the track of the day on July 11th of 2021. SOS Laid Back is a mixed freewheel track that about 2,900 players have the author medal on, and this is by far the easiest one from today's video. It took me 7 minutes to get this one, finishing with a time of 39.335 seconds. I really don't have any complaints about this track. It was a very enjoyable drive. We have the uniqueness of the freewheeling, you know, that isn't used all that often. The route on this one was also good for what it was. Again, no complaints on this one. Well-rounded and an enjoyable drive. And with that, we will conclude volume number 21 here today. Of course, if you are interested in driving any of the tracks you saw, there will be links in the description to all of them, and you can also find them in my in-game club called Club Teuty. As always, I hope you enjoyed the video as well. If you did, be sure to like it and subscribe so you don't miss out on any in the future. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope to see you all very soon with volume 22.